Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a special presentation of the Rob Maness Show. I know the President of the United States that's been installed, Joe Biden, is making a prime time address right now. That's why I wanted to get this out there. I'm going to play you a video clip or two to show you what this individual that calls himself the President of the United States and his staff, his spokesperson, that speaks from the podium at the White House every day is saying about people that are American citizens that legally cast a vote for Donald J. Trump. And I don't normally talk about who I vote for very publicly, but I'm going to say it right now. I voted for Donald J. Trump in the general election of 2016. I voted for him in the primary of 2020, and I voted for him in the general election of 2020. So here's the president of the United States, the person that's installed in that office right now, and speaking about the Second Amendment and those of us that believe the Second Amendment is to prohibit government tyranny.
All about keeping America's independent and safe. If you want to fight against a country, you need an F-15. You need something a little more than a gun. No, I'm not joking. Think about this. Think about the rationale that's used to provide this. And who are they shooting at? Shooting at these guys behind me. Folks, look.
Well, friends, you know, I'm a retired colonel. I served this country for 33 plus years. I come from two different families that one of them's military service goes all the way back to 1775. That you heard that correctly, 1775 in the Continental Army. So we believe in the United States of America. We uphold the values in the Declaration of Independence, and we have supported and defended with our lives. And I'm a combat veteran. I have three sons, two of which are combat veterans that have all served in the military and multiple combat deployments to the Middle East after the post 9/11 in post 9/11 era. And we believe in supporting and defending the Constitution of the United States. And that's what we believe in. I'm a grandfather. I'm a dad, as I said. I'm a husband. I'm a brother. I'm a son of a man who sacrificed his life for this country. And the president is incorrect when he threatens the use of U.S. air power against American citizens who just happen to believe in the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment, which is the right to keep and bear arms, and it shall not be infringed. Of course, it's not unlimited. There have been many, many court cases and those kind of things. And it is associated with a well regulated militia, but not the personal right to keep and bear arms. There is no militia without the personal right to keep and bear arms. And how dare this president, how dare he threaten the use of U.S. air power against American citizens? In the context of this speech is when he had just said he's going to ban assault weapons again. Of course, there is no such thing as a civilian assault weapon. He's talking about the vaunted AR-15, which I have several. Of course, they were lost in the flood. That's what we all say nowadays. And my family has several, and we have thousands and thousands of rounds of ammunition for one single purpose: to defend ourselves against anyone that tries to take our life or our property or those of lives and property of our families. That is our right that is inherent in being a human being based on the values in the Declaration of Independence. And of course, it's documented in the Second Amendment as an inherent right. It's not given permission in the Second Amendment. The Bill of Rights is not a list of permission rights given by the government. It's a list of rights the government shall not touch. Shall not touch. Let me cue up the second video so you understand exactly what's going to happen, what's happening right now tonight And and this is the president's spokeswoman who speaks from the podium every single day. This is in the last 72 hours or 48 hours, uh, forgive me, of what's happening right now as we speak. Listen to this.
But the president thinks that there is an extremist threat to our democracy. The president has been clear as he can be on that particular piece when we talk about a democracy, when we talk about our freedoms. The way that he sees is the MAGA Republicans are the most energized part of the Republican Party. That extreme, this is an extreme threat to our democracy, to our freedom, to our rights. They just don't respect the rule of law. You heard that from the president, and they are pursuing an agenda that takes away people's rights. So, which is what the president said last week on Thursday. You all heard him. This is what the president said yesterday, and that's what he's going to continue to say. And here's the thing: the president is not going to shy away to call out what he clearly sees is happening in this country.
That happened yesterday, as a matter of fact. And this person is not qualified to do the job she's been appointed to. It's obvious. You could see it day in and day out that she can't hold her own. But she is accurately portraying what the president of the United States is saying. And he is saying that anyone that voted for Donald J. Trump is a threat to American democracy. Now, we live in a republic that uses elections to pick our representatives. So there's a democratic approach to it, but it is a republic. And by the way, that Constitution that you swore to support and defend, President Biden, uh, has a phrase in it that is supposed to have the federal government guaranteeing a Republican government to each and every state that's a member of the union. But to think that because American citizens voted for a certain individual, that they are a threat to democracy. Now, this has been building for some time, since the January 6th debacle. Let me just say up front, the January 6th incident, it was a riot. There were some bad actors there that broke the law, and those that with violence and damage to property, and they should be held accountable, just like anybody else should be held accountable. Unfortunately, they're being held accountable in a way that is much greater than what happened the year before in 2020, when we had $2 billion of property damage by the insurrectionist riots of the Black Lives Matters and Antifa movements, that this president and his vice president encourage people to donate to bail those criminals out. And those criminals, to this day, very few of them are being treated the way these individuals that have been vacuumed up in this January 6th dragnet, which there's about 850 Americans that have been vacuumed up in that. Many of them are being held in what's called the DC Gulag, and their rights are being infringed upon. They haven't been given a speedy trial, so they're being held without trial, some for 18, 19, 20 months in solitary confinement because of unnecessary COVID restrictions and other things. And only 5 or 6 congressmen have tried to help these people make sure that their rights are being protected, and they're not. The main right they're losing is the right to due process, which is a right in the Constitution of the United States and the Bill of Rights and the Fourth Amendment and the Fifth Amendment. And we should all be fighting to make sure every single American that is caught up in this unnecessary dragnet for a riot that was had some government agent involvement in order to facilitate what violence did occur on that day. And none of us, nobody agrees that those folks should have gone into the building and stopped the process, because we wanted to see the evidence that the congressmen and senators that had already objected to the electoral college votes from certain states had to present. So it's just bullshit, Mr. President, that you say people that voted for Donald J. Trump are violent and they're advocating violence. And by the way, you said that we shoot at police officers. Well, that's bullshit, Mr. Biden. You need to take that back publicly and apologize to the 80 plus million Americans that voted for the man multiple times. It doesn't matter who I voted for. You are the president of the United States. Once you said you were the president of all Americans, including MAGA Americans, but now you're calling us terrorists and a danger to the democracy. Well, the democracy that you Democrats think you have is what you think we're a danger to. And you're right. We are out to stop that because we want our republic back and we want you to live in a republic. And we don't want to take your rights. We just want to make sure rights of people like the defenseless babies, human babies in the womb, have the right to life that's in the Declaration of Independence and what is inherent to every human being's natural rights, which you should be following, but you're not. You are trying to declare that more than half the country, because they voted for a man that you and your government types don't like and have never liked and have tried to take down for 7 years now. They voted for that guy, and that makes us your enemy. Well, we may be your political enemy, but we're not an enemy of the United States of America, Mr. President Joe Biden, who's been installed illegally. And we're going to fight to regain the United States of America within its constitutional authority and get this expanded government that is extra constitutional back under the control of the people so that when somebody's a civil servant, they know that they work for me, a citizen who's retired now, and that I pay their taxpayer funded paycheck. And that if they don't treat me with the respect that they should as their boss, then they're going to get fired. And that's what you should be working on, Mr. President, instead of trying to say that somebody like me, who has served honorably for over 32 and a half years in the United States military, and all of my family and my kids and my grandkids, is an enemy of the United States. Bullshit, Joe Biden. You're the enemy of the constitutional United States of America, and we will do everything legally within our power to remove you from office. And if I ever get appointed to anything, and I'm a volunteer, I will do my darndest to make sure this government is torn apart and put back into the constitutional cage that the United States government is supposed to be so that it's working for us, the citizens of the United States. And I don't care whether that citizen is a Democrat or Republican. And that's the difference between you and me, Mr. Biden. That's the difference is the United States of America is for all of us. And I don't wish ill will on any American that honorably serves and honorably wants to serve and protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. But many of you on the other side are no longer honorable, and you deserve to be defeated and removed from power. And we, the American people that believe in the Constitution, especially those of us that voted for Donald J. Trump and the America First policies that he's implemented and that we will implement again, we will remove you from power. Good night, everybody. I hope you learned something from this talk, and I hope Mr. President Biden gets to hear part of it and come to understand that he really needs to apologize because I'm an American. I'm an American that served and sacrificed, and I believe in the Constitution of the United States. And we need people in office that actually do believe in the Constitution of the United States, or we need to remove them. And we're going to remove you, Mr. Biden. God bless you all. God bless America.